The live-action version of Aladdin teams up with the magical Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Fresh Prince of Agrabah, to fight Jafar and to start a relationship with a flower named Jasmine.
Welcome to the Walt Vault with Andre,
Michelle,
Emily,
and Luis.
We are a family-friendly podcast where each and every week we watch and review a different Disney movie. Be sure to subscribe on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 156.
what was that?
I just
That's
took a
how
sip.
156 sounds.
Hands on
homie.
my knees, hands on my knees.
Why?
Yes.
This week we are talking about the live-action 2019 Disney remake, Aladdin.
Yeah, 2019. For some reason, I think I thought it was 2018, but it was 2019.
It was 2019.
I don't remember that far back, dude.
I don't remember anything
a
that happened
millennia
before
ago.
2020, right? What?
Was there a time before that? I don't know.
2018?
I guess so.
What are you talking
Dude,
about?
it's nuts because, yes, I agree with you because now the sophomores right before COVID hit that I taught
Yeah.
as freshmen, they're seniors now. I don't believe it. I still think they're like sophomores.
Because we
Yeah.
haven't seen them in
I
two.
doubt-
It's weird, dude.
But it's like I hadn't seen them in such a long time, but it was also it went by kind of fast, like a blur almost.
Make sure you
Maybe that's
bleep
just us going through PTSD.
Probably.
Yeah.
Ye-
Yeah.
I was telling him to bleep your smeep.
What did I speak?
I don't know, but I'll get it. Before we talk about the movie, we have a question.
Louis asked a question. I don't know.
You do it so good.
All right, so I want you to imagine all of the Disneys across the world.
Okay.
Peoples
Okay.
Or parks or
Parks.
Okay.
Oh,
I was like, what do you mean?
vague.
Okay,
Disney
so
parks. Okay.
The
would you
Disney-
rather get a 5-day everything paid for in Walt Disney World?
Okay.
Or would you rather get a 5-day vacation in one of the cities where the park is, but you only get 1 day in the park? Which one would you do?
Both
Okay.
are all inclusive.
All of them are all inclusive.
But okay, so
But you only in Walt Disney World you get a full 5 days.
5 days at Walt Disney World,
Everywhere else you only get 1 day.
Only get 1 day in the park.
Park.
but I'd just be spending 5 days in Japan or
Yes.
Shanghai
Yes.
or Paris or
Yes.
Hong Kong
Yes, and this offer will never come up again.
or LA.
What
I
if
guess.
the park's over there? Can I park hop?
Nope, I already said 1 park.
But
And here's the
but
worst.
there's 2 parks just like Disneyland.
You are playing by my rules.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Luis is
Let me
dogging
rephrase it
Michelle
just
right
in
now.
case there's any doubt.
Just letting you know they all have
Okay.
more. They all have 2 parks.
You get either a 5-day all-inclusive everything at Walt Disney World
Yes.
in Orlando, or
No,
you
no,
get.
you said Disney's. You didn't
Let
say Walt
me
Disney World.
finish.
He did say Walt
did say
Disney
I
World.
did.
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep
I'm over here
going.
thinking about Japan.
Let me start over again.
Oh my.
You
Okay.
get 5 days all-inclusive
Yes.
in Walt Disney World Orlando.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Or you get 5 days in the city of one of the other
Of the worldwide parks.
worldwide parks, but you can only go to the park once, and it cannot be a park hopper.
Gotcha.
That's
And here's the
rude.
deal.
I see what we're saying. Okay.
Here's the deal, though. Okay? Never again will you be able to go to any of the ones I just mentioned. Only Disney proper.
Wait a second.
Wait,
second.
what?
Clarify that. Never again. After I choose
So this
one
is
of
your
these-
one and only to go to any of those options I said. And you won't be able to go after you choose to any of the
So
others.
if I choose to go to Japan, I get to go there, spend 5 days, go to Disneyland
and you'll
one
never
day.
go to Walt Disney World or any of the other ones except for the one in California.
Ah.
That's the catch.
Okay.
That's unfair
They
because
just pick it. They're not meant to be easy. Seriously,
I
guys.
was just saying, Andre and Michelle have been to Walt Disney World.
We have.
Again.
That's why I'm not choosing it.
Like I said,
Okay,
they're
rude.
not meant to be easy.
Okay.
Okay.
They're
So
meant to
I
make
mean,
us think.
my choice is easy. I will be going to one of the Asian parks. But in my head right now, I'm trying to decide between if I would go to Tokyo and choose Tokyo Disney Sea, or if I would go to Shanghai and choose Shanghai Disneyland. So let me think still. Y'all can
So I'm in between Paris, not because it's the better park, but because I would like to be in Paris.
Right.
Yeah.
And Japan, because I would like to be in Japan.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm in between those. I'm not going for the Walt Disney World one.
I think I am also not going for Walt Disney World. I think I'm choosing between Japan and Shanghai.
I'm going Japan, and I'm choosing Tokyo Disney Sea, not Tokyo Disneyland.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Well, Hong Kong's got a cool one too. I'm gonna choose Shanghai.
Yeah, I was gonna say Shanghai's the bigger. Like Hong Kong wasn't.
Isn't
an
that the
option
one that
for
had
me.
like a tarp
A
all
tarp.
throughout the entire park? Like it's
You mean
covered.
it's
Like
covered?
it's covered. It's like
A tarp?
Like a dome. A tarp dome.
No.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
one of them is.
One of them at Tokyo Disneyland Main Street USA is covered.
It's
It's
covered.
indoors. It's not out. Maybe that's
cool.
what you're thinking.
So yeah, I think I'm choosing the 5-day vacation to Shanghai. Okay, I'm gonna eat Chinese food for 40 hours straight, and then I'm gonna go to Disneyland, and I'm
But there's 2 parks in Shanghai. Which one are you going to?
Oh, I didn't know there was 2 parks there. I don't know what are the differences. What are the 2
One
parks?
has like the Marvel stuff, which is kind of like our California Adventure, and then
Word.
the other one is like the Disneyland.
Which one has the Tron ride?
Disneyland.
Ooh.
It's in there.
There's a Tron ride?
There's a Tron
Yeah, they
ride,
have Tron
and it looks
was cool.
sick, dude.
Good God.
I'm gonna choose that. Shanghai, Disneyland,
All right, Emily, you going with Paris?
Tron.
What'd you choose?
Tokyo Disney Sea.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I really am between Tokyo and Paris.
The reason I can't not choose Tokyo Disney Sea is because they have an entire Ariel themed land. Like
Yeah,
I
they
can't
Oh,
not go.
snaps. Is that where I sent you guys the
And it
meme
looks
of the dude
legit.
with the egg?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, that's Tokyo
Oh, that
Disney
was pretty
Sea.
legit.
That was super cool. They had like steel pan drums as a
Oh.
part of the like infrastructure, and the like one of the cast members was literally playing the steel pan drums to the Little Mermaid under the sea. It was awesome.
It's my dream job.
I know, right?
Boody ding ding, boody bing bing bong.
That's literally what he was doing. It was so
Bing
great.
bong, bong, bing bong, bing.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw Andre in my life, he was playing the steel
Shut
pan
up.
drums in junior
Oh
high.
yeah, that's right.
And she was like,
And Emily was playing the handbells.
You mean triangles?
ding 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 ding.
okay, which one are you doing, Ems?
And sadly, Andre's was much cooler.
Oh yeah, I didn't have to wear gloves, you know.
Dude, those gloves looked good on these little hands.
Whatever.
It's almost time to be playing those bells, okay?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with Japan, just because it's much more. This sounds ridiculous, but much more exotic,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the Japanese people are gonna like me more, but like French people, I've heard are not American fans.
American.
Wait, are you gonna go to Tokyo Disneyland or Tokyo Disney Sea?
Probably land.
Didn't it land?
Fair enough.
Wait,
Louise?
Lou, before you answer yours, are we banned from just going to the other Disneylands, or am I not allowed to go to Paris at all?
No, just the Disney.
Okay,
lands.
okay, cool. I'm good.
Now you
Okay.
can travel internationally.
Andre and I basically went all out on our last Disney World trip.
You have
so
been rejected from the
I'm
country
cool.
of France.
I'm cool off
I
that.
still can't believe y'all went.
Dude, yeah, me either. I think about it all the time. Like, can I go back?
Okay, so mine, without a doubt, Paris. I'd go to Paris because if it's 5 days all inclusive for everything, I would make dang sure it's revolving around a PSG Champions League game
Oh.
It's gonna be a
against
Louise soccer
Liverpool.
Aha.
So,
okay,
and-
so that's
and-
why he asked us this question.
No. I just thought of my answer
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
Does
And also
Mbappe
too,
play for France?
He does.
who? Mbappe, yeah,
Mbappe?
yeah, there you go. And he
Man.
plays for PSG.
Maybe I
So,
should have played.
As of
Maybe
now,
I should have went to
Play for
France.
as of now, though. As of now.
Impersonated that.
But
fool.
anyways,
Got a whole
I
bunch of
mean,
money.
dude. We
But
could,
like, hey,
Ems,
want to take a picture with me?
Ems, we could go, man. You know,
We could go
Well,
Mandalorian.
we could definitely go to France. I'll be Mexican. You're Canadian. We're good.
I'll be Mexican.
I'll be fine in France because people will think Andre is Mbappe.
Yeah, but they're gonna hate you because you are the epitome of American.
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Can I get a croissant?
You could
Stop.
just.
You just gave me heartburn, and it wasn't the michelada.
Dang. Something so
Give me
bad
some
it gave you heartburn.
Lasagna.
Lasagna, which is Italian.
Oh, yeah, that's not French.
They're really gonna love you.
You know, but when we were at the French restaurant, I did have pasta with my thing, remember?
Oui.
With my thing.
My
With
feet.
my meat.
I'm curious to see what you viewers would pick. You know.
Yeah. So drop your comments on the Instagram post.
Who's joining me?
The Louis asked
apparently
a
Emily's
question.
joining me, but we're just going to go to different parks and meet up later.
It was kind of a hard one for me because, like, I hecka would do China too because if I could go explore the natural beauty of China, oh geez,
It's true.
get
There's
away
so
from
many cool.
get away from like that toxic air and pollution and stuff.
Well,
Right.
Japan's
You know?
right on
I'm trying
the
to go to
ocean.
some monasteries though. Like, that'd be so cool.
I'm not going to lie.
But I mean, I'm not gonna pass up an opportunity to potentially see PSG play Liverpool in the Champions
So that's
League.
not why Andre and I were thinking about going to France. So France is open now if you have like a health pass, which for our listeners, all of us are fully vaccinated. Okay, go get vaccinated.
Invite us to those houses.
If I just to use house, you sound like Addie. Can I come to use house?
We'll do the podcast live in your house.
Can I have to use house? So we were like, okay, let's get the health pass. We want to go on vacation in January again. And the flights to France are so stinking cheap in January. And it's so cheap to go to their park. And I was like, we're going. And then Andre looked up the average temperature and we're not going.
It is
It
40 degrees, a high of 40 degrees.
Yeah, that's
Dude.
a high.
In France.
40 degrees is perfect. Once you start getting into your 20s, homie, you worry.
The lows
Well,
are like in the 20s. Yeah.
You and I have different skin, okay? Because
You know what?
He was like, "We cannot go."
I can't speak because I spend most of my time during the winter outside, so
Yeah.
I get
Can't-
somehow
You
accustomed
know
to
that Andre's nose becomes a little drippy as soon as it's 70 degrees
yeah,
out.
if it reaches
Bro,
below
hey, I'm just
72,
saying, dude.
I am a faucet.
I'm
all
just
right?
saying.
What's it?
It's 79
You
right
care
now.
to-
We say.
You care to tell me you'd rather be in the heat where you're a faucet in all nooks and cranny of your body than in one little tiny piece of your body?
Absolutely.
He would.
1,000,000%.
Andre and I have opposite
I would definitely-
body
Yeah,
temperatures.
no. I'd rather be
snow
drippy all day.
in Paris?
No snow.
It doesn't
kind
know
of
now.
snow?
What
No
kind of
snow.
romantic are you?
Summer.
It's
we
rare
move
that
on?
it snows in Paris, by the way. It's not very common.
Let's move on. This is ridiculous.
Anywho, yeah,
Thanks
once
for that
again.
question, Lou.
We're
Get it,
watching
get it,
live action Aladdin. Okay, so
Okay,
Emily,
hold on. Without that song, go ahead.
You can bleep that out. What's it?
No, it's okay.
No,
Leave
it was a song.
Yeah, so answer the question yourselves. We want to know which park you're going to. Drop it in the comments on Instagram at the Walt Vault Pod. Sign up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the
Man,
show.
that was one of my better ones, better than last week's.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Last week's was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, before we start talking about
Oh,
the
I
movie.
didn't even post that on Instagram. I
Good.
didn't do it on purpose,
Good.
but I'm glad I didn't
Yeah, it was
because that was
good.
disgusting.
That was not a good
It's a little
one.
explicit.
Sorry,
Yeah.
listeners, you didn't get a chance.
It's not good content.
Maybe I'll clip
You're
it
not.
out.
You're not sorry.
You
Never
didn't
mind.
miss anything, peeps.
No, you didn't.
I'll put the clip up on YouTube.
So we have some shouts outs.
We do. So we've gotten quite a bit of feedback, positive and negative. And we'll start with the positives, okay? So we wanted to shout out Karen Stevenson.
Hello,
She's
Karen.
at Karen_Stevens or Steves. She said,
Steves.
"Hi guys, I just started following your podcast from the beginning, and I've reached the Brave episode. I have some
Brave.
catching up to do, but powering through them. I'm from Edinburgh, and just knew that the accents in the episode were going to be hilarious. Points for effort, guys, and love the podcast. Laughed away back at the start when you were like, imagine when we get to 100 episodes when I already knew that you had.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Karen. We appreciate reading your feedback. We also wanted to give
That's
a shout
so
out
nice.
to Nick at the Disney Dad. We've talked about
Disney Dad.
But Disney
I had to
Dad.
do this on no, Disney Dad.
Forgot
We've
about the
talked
song.
about you before, Nick, but we just want to say how much we appreciate you. You had a birthday yesterday as
Happy
of this
birthday.
recording.
Happy
So
birthday,
happy
Disney
belated
Dad.
birthday from us. He
Feliz cumpleaños.
In case you didn't know the Espanol, that means happy birthday. Anywho, you said something that really made us happy. You said, for you guys, between me and you guys, I just won't say it out loud, that we are a really cool podcast. He said that we're out here having fun and entertaining and keeping him coming back for more. And we just really appreciate that because, yeah.
We do, because, sometimes I'm like, do people listen to me? Like, do they like this? And then I'm like, oh, okay, whew, they do. All right, so
They like us.
We like positive reinforcement.
Right.
They really like us.
Now, onto the negative reviews.
Oh, hold on. No, I also want to give...
Jeez, he was ready.
I also want to give Michael Matonde a shout out because he is always tagging the Walt Vault.
Oh.
The Walt Vault.
The Walt Vault.
We have such great friends.
You guys, he's out here tagging us in all kinds of
Crazy memes. He's like the meme king.
He is.
Yeah,
the
y'all.
meme
If you don't
He's
follow
literally
him, you
the
need to
meme
follow him to just tune into his memes on his story.
Yeah,
And
I don't know where he finds these. I think sometimes I'm like, where did you find this? And he'll be like, the internet is a deep, dark place.
It really is.
All right, Michael.
Word.
I feel
what's
like
your
if
handle?
the internet is
Man
like
of Steel or
a
something?
deep,
It's like
dark
Man of Steel,
place,
yeah.
then the internet
499.
is basically streaming from his mind because
Yeah.
he has to come up with these.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I love the friends that we've made through this. It's great.
So
Y'all are great.
shout out, follow him at Man of Steel 499. Is
Yep.
that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get to that negative.
Oh yeah. So we have.
We're gonna get real deep here for a second.
I was just perusing.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was just perusing our
like that
iTunes
word,
page,
perusing.
which I don't do very often. But a review got left on there.
Oh dear.
This came from June 17th.
A while ago.
The title says, "The hosts lack sensitivity." They gave us 1 out of 5 stars. This review is from Gospel Rocker. Says, "I recently listened to the Cruella episode, and I was stunned by the host's lack of sensitivity to mental illness and how traumatizing an experience receiving a diagnosis or spending time in an inpatient treatment facility can be. These are not experiences to joke about or make light of, especially given the stigma that still accompanies mental health in our society. I associate Disney with values of sensitivity and inclusivity. It was disappointing, if not surprising, to find that hosts of a Disney-themed podcast could be so obtuse." Now, as much as I love the word obtuse,
You like that word?
I do
It's
like
actually
that word.
pretty funny.
It's a great,
fun.
it's a
Yeah.
great
Makes me
word.
think-
I always remember of that one episode in Family Guy where I think he goes to ask for Lois's hand in marriage, and the dad
Like
says
how you
no.
said
What?
Peter wants to get married with Lois, and dad says no, and for whatever reason doesn't give a response. Then he's like, "Don't be so obtuse," and then you see the dad in the obtuse angle. He's like, "I'm not
I was
being
gonna
obtuse."
say it just makes me think of math.
Yeah.
Triangles, baby.
Geometry.
So anyway, I don't know exactly what this person was talking about. I haven't re-listened to the Cruella
Yeah.
episode since we posted it.
I ain't gonna lie, we never. I probably don't have a filter, but I don't think we ever said that we weren't gonna joke around about things. But
Well,
also,
I think the hard thing is that we have shared on multiple occasions that we all suffer from mental health issues in our own ways.
If you're on mental medication, it's me.
The only person
It's me
not on
too.
medication is Louise.
You
And
should be.
you probably should.
Damn.
I've never met a more uptight person in my life.
Really?
Me? I'm uptight?
No.
Oh, then who's more uptight than you? Okay, now I'm confused
Ooh,
about
the
where this
silence.
conversation
Crickets.
went.
Beep, beep.
Older man
The
negative
thing
out there.
is that.
Are you gonna text it to me? What's happening?
Whoa, Emily, you're better with words. You go.
No, you do. Go ahead, dear.
No, Emily's better with words.
Well, what were you gonna
He
say?
texted me your father.
It's not accurate.
Too far.
Hashtag dead. Okay, that was funny, Luis. And to be honest, he
Ta-da.
wrote,
Ding.
use father.
Use father.
Dude,
Use
I
father.
say use everywhere in my life now.
Use father.
You was fine.
Blame a child.
Thanks, kiddos.
Anywho, yeah. So I think that's the hard thing for me is I would love to say I'm good at criticism, but I'm not. And this one kind of got me right in the feels because we have shared on multiple occasions. I feel like that we have all suffered our own things in our past. And if we have made an offhanded comment, I feel I feel upset that we've made somebody else upset.
Sure.
Because in no way do we ever want to exclude people, because we do, even though I think we see ourselves as very, very inclusive, we very much do speak our mind and our feelings on this podcast.
Word.
And so I do appreciate the criticism in a way that I think I'll be a little bit more mindful.
Yes.
But at the same time, I think one of the things that we pride ourselves on is our stream of consciousness and the way that our podcast just kind of comes out of the top of our head.
Right.
And that means that sometimes we're not going to be as PC as we probably should.
We are quite flippant on the pod.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm
probably the most.
Sure.
So I'm so sorry.
I'm trying to
I've
recall.
never had a filter, and I try real
I feel
hard.
like in that specific episode, we were talking about how,
I think we were
quote,
just-
crazy Cruella had become and was acting and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
that is a word that can,
Yeah.
set some people off as being,
But doesn't she
derogatory
mention
and stuff
something
like
about,
that.
like the house or something like that in the review.
In the review, no.
But
No, that's what I said.
I distinctly remember we did say something about like we were tripped out at the fact that the house. It really looked like
No, I know
they were
he said that.
taking her
Yeah,
to a
I thought they were
asylum.
taking her to like a mental institution when they went into Hellman's Hall the first time. And I don't remember
When
what
she
I
was a
said
kid
after
or
that.
whatever.
But yeah,
Might have been what we were supposed to think, though. I think, honestly.
I have no
The
idea.
point is that we meant no ill harm. We apologize if we came off a little.
Insensitive
That's a good word.
to those with
Insensitive.
mental illnesses,
Well, homie, man.
of which we all have.
Girl, you can message me. I'll tell you all about my mental illness.
Don't ask.
It ain't great. Trust me. Emily's seen it. Andre's seen it.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
Felt
They
it.
seen it.
Felt the cold sting of mental illness. So yeah, we've all been affected by it, and once again, I mean, when we're talking about these things, we are talking about fictional characters
Yes,
for the most part. I don't think if we were talking about real people, we would necessarily talk
absolutely.
quite as flippantly. Sometimes
probably not.
Although sometimes we do talk about celebrities on here, and we can get a little buck wild, I suppose. But
This podcast is like a coping mechanism for us, okay? We out here all week at the jobs, at the works.
Welcome to the
trying
group
not to
therapy
say-
session.
Yeah, group therapy session. All right.
Yeah.
And also too, we're not directly affiliated with Disney.
that's
Our
very
theme
true.
is just centered around Disney.
Yeah, we didn't go through no Disney training. We ain't getting
I
no.
wish.
We ain't getting no Disney paycheck. All right, we just grew up watching these movies.
We have zero skills. Okay.
But anyways.
Negative
fine.
skills. So
It's
anyway,
fine.
Gospel Rocker.
If
Shout
you wanna know
out.
about
Shout out to you if you're still
mental
listening.
illness, send us an email
I
at
can't-
the Walt Vault.
I'm gonna need you to stop that.
I kind of doubt that this person is still listening. It seems like
No.
this was like a one and done for them. Because
Yeah.
once again, as much as I don't remember the specifics of that episode, it didn't feel like out of any of the stuff we were saying was out of character for any of us. So
No,
if
I
you know
don't
us,
think so.
it seems like run of the
It's
mill
all right.
stuff.
So, I'm gonna
sometimes
just-
people have things to say, just like Chicken Little Guy, okay?
Chicken little guy.
I'll always remember him.
I think that if you like our podcast, you can go on to iTunes and give us some scores that are a little bit better than one.
That's right.
And it might be, I'm not saying go in there and talk about how inclusive we are, because that's not particularly the aim. But, if you like us
Talk
and you
about
think that
how
we're
much-
doing some good stuff, go ahead
Yeah.
and share it on there, because
How much you love Old Man
I don't want
Negative.
people to now think that we're super insensitive.
Right, and vote with your heart or whatever. Go in there and
Vote
give
with your heart.
and give the amount of stars that you think we deserve. My favorite number of stars just happens to be 5. I don't know.
Can you read a good one before we go forward?
Oh, sure,
Michelle
sure,
is
sure.
very sad.
Here's one that came.
Let's be real though. Now that not that we're big podcasts, like I don't think 1 million people listen to us or whatever.
Hey, we just hit
but-
100 subscribers on YouTube.
Well, YouTube.
Sub.
We got
How
way
you
more
doing?
subscribers on other things.
Hit that sub.
But it is what it is.
Anyway, here's a 5-star review.
Wow.
The title is #NotACrazedFan. It says, I am a huge Disney fan and an even bigger Walt Vault fan. I'm
Aw.
subscribed to both podcasts and a patron on Patreon. Still waiting on my gifts, guys. LOL. Snap. My
Oh,
bad.
geez.
My bad.
What do we owe 'em?
I'll send that along
Who do we need to send a gift?
immediately. It doesn't say who they are. It just says,
It says #Andre get on it.
yeah.
When Emily was in charge of that, it happened
It
right
happened.
away.
Why did we put Andre in charge of that?
That was a really bad.
It was a bad move on my part. Hey, if you're a
Emily's in
patron,
charge again.
sorry, and your gifts are in the mail. Maybe not right now, but they're coming. They're coming.
Oh, good God. That was a bad review to read.
I didn't see the last part before I started reading it. Anywho,
Good
thank you
God,
guys so
move
much
along.
for all of your feedback. We appreciate it. Hit us up at the Walt Vault Pod if you want to leave us more positive or negative criticism.
Yeah, come at us.
Sure.
We prefer the
We like
positive
constructive
ones.
better, but
Yeah. Constructive.
So we are doing the live action Aladdin, which Emily and Luis hadn't seen.
No,
So
we
this-
had seen. We saw once before
Oh.
this.
Oh, I thought that this was your first time watching it, and that's why
No.
you wanted to watch it so bad.
No, I wanted to review it because I thought it was pretty good the first time.
Oh, okay. So let's go into our first impressions.
Impression.
I guess I'll start. I don't usually start, so I'll start.
Okay.
My first impression upon the first time that I viewed it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I personally have an issue when you go into a musical and the songs sound different than what my brain is trained to think,
Sure.
like how it was in the animated one. So it throws me off always, like the first time I watch
Sure.
it, you know. But it was good. I liked it. So this time I knew what to expect more, you know. So I liked it a lot better upon this viewing. It's very beautiful in the costuming and the sets. I love it. I don't really like all of the way that they film it with like the fast and the slow and the, you know, the frames per second. That kind of throws me off a little bit. But the story was good. The casting was good. I liked the added features in it. And he was a good genie
Will Smith.
in his own way.
Can I go next?
Yeah.
Emily.
Because I'm just going to say same.
Same.
Yeah.
Same thing. The first time I watched it, there was a couple songs that were new where I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know about
that always happens.
And second time I was like, all right, I like it more. It makes more sense now. And I think Luis and mine and Luis's a major gripe originally was that I was like, if Will Smith is going to be blue this whole time, I'm going to throw something at the screen because we saw the promo,
Right.
like poster.
I think
and
we
Yeah.
talked about it on the podcast.
Yes,
at a
it was so
certain point.
scary, honestly.
It was
And
terrifying.
thank God, like they got out of the Cave of Wonders and it was almost immediate that he changed. And after that, it was just Will Smith being like fun.
Yeah.
And I agree, it was much better to see him doing him versus him being Robin Williams. And
Which
that's
is-
the like redeeming
yeah.
part of that.
I think like originally when we had watched the trailer for this and done our first impressions of the trailer, I was so scared. I was like, I don't even know if I want to watch it. Like I'm scared.
Which
Yep.
is funny because
Remakes are scary, but that one in particular because nobody can copy Robin Williams. You know,
and you don't want to, you know.
Yeah.
But like, it's funny. We were all in the same mindset with that. Like, if you've ever watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
Yeah.
and if I would have thought that in my moment of seeing it in the trailer, I would have been like, it's gonna be fine.
Right.
You know,
right,
because
Yeah.
Will Smith is excellent. You know,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
a pretty dang well-rounded actor.
yeah,
you know?
he is.
So,
It's
yeah.
his own style.
Overall, I really liked it. Second viewing was better for me, same reasons. But it was fun to watch because it was so beautiful and the dancing is good. Just the like set movement was fantastic. I didn't like Abu, but that's just CGI issues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, you know.
it is what it is.
It is.
I
don't
like the
think-
difference in Iago, though, that he wasn't as cartoony. I liked
Right.
that he was just a normal parrot.
Yeah.
Luis,
There we go.
your first
Yes,
impression?
Luis, first impression.
Oh, I really like it.
And more cultural
It's
sensitivity.
it's
was
probably a lot more. It's probably one of my favorite live version ones. Maybe behind Cruella.
good. It was pretty good.
I liked
Yeah.
it a lot.
I kind of agree with Luis. It's in the top of like these live actions to me. Like they did a solid job.
Yeah.
Andre.
Yeah, I basically agree with everybody. Like when we first went to see this, I think we saw it in theaters.
We did.
I went
In the
into
before.
in the before times. I went into it with the same kind of trepidations about everything and expectations about the movie because Aladdin is one of my favorite Disney movies, right? So I was very eager to see where this was going, and Will Smith is one of my favorite actors. So I was like, okay, I don't know if if I want to see him do this necessarily. And
It's
so
hard when it's like it crosses over.
exactly.
You know?
And so seeing it the first time, I came out of it going like, "Phew, I don't know if I even like that much, you know. But upon this second viewing, you guys are right that like the movie is shot really beautifully. Like the colors are popping all over the place in this. I think that the performances are all really solid. Like from Will Smith doing his Genie stuff, which, like you said, Emily, like when he's blue, it's like, all right, this is a little jarring. But when he is Will Smith colored or whatever, then it's
When he's the human Genie.
yeah. When he's human, when he's human Genie, when he's Fresh Princed out, you know, his performance it really shines through. I liked Mina Masood as Aladdin. I liked Naomi Scott as Jasmine. Their songs
I like the Handmaiden.
that they sing. Yes, Nassim Pedrad as
Oh
the
my
Handmaiden.
God.
Dahlia.
Yeah.
Dahlia.
Yeah, Dahlia.
And
Hilarious.
Jafar, they're all good.
Yeah,
The casting
everybody was
awesome. Oh, yeah, the
really
cast was
really
awesome.
good. But in that first viewing, I was like, hashtag not my Jafar, pshaw, you know.
Because it's a different interpretation. That's the thing about going into them the first time is you already have your interpretation. And
Exactly.
then somebody's changing it and you have to flip your switch.
Right.
You know, like-
exactly. So overall, this movie, it shot up by 35% in my
Right,
mind.
right.
It's
I agree
its
with
score.
I agree with that.
So yeah, good stuff.
So the thing about this movie, you guys, is that like you already know the movie.
Yeah.
That's true.
So we don't need to tell you what happens, but we can like
That's what I told Luis. Like, it's almost more fun to do these after.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I have to really think about what happens in Aladdin. It's more like how they expanded upon the
Yes.
ideas of it.
Exactly.
And I just want to, I can't remember if we talked about this in the,
In the Aladdin episode,
Aladdin episode.
which
But
was
I'm so happy, and I feel like Disney's finally jumped on the freaking boat after 80, 90 years, however long they've been around.
however long
But-
they've been around.
You know, it used to be all white people doing everything.
Yep.
Right? And, all of the voice actors were white originally. And
Aladdin was modeled after Tom
I
Cruise.
was just going to say
Yeah.
Aladdin was supposed to be a young Tom Cruise and with darker skin.
Yeah.
So those types of things are so it was just white culture set to things about Arabian Nights apparently.
Right.
Right? And so there were certain things that were culturally insensitive, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but the words were changed in a lot of the songs
Yes.
that made it not sound barbaric, and
Right.
words that are just, not befitting to a culture that's not white,
And
right?
Mr. Alan Menken still be on the track. Okay.
Oh, he was on that track. He
Alan
was working
came
the
back,
track.
and who's the other guy? The guy that does the lyrics? Sherman? Howard Sherman? Is that it? I'll look it up.
It's definitely Alan Menken.
No, Alan Menken does the
He does
the
the
composing,
music.
the music. But the guy who does the lyrics is
Howard Sherman.
But anywho, so I liked those differences. I thought Aladdin was so cute. The guy who played him.
I did, but I did not like his emo hair. He had this hair out here. He looked like that
Who?
dude from Fallout Boy.
Aladdin.
Aladdin? No, he didn't.
Who's that dude from Fallout Boy?
I don't know.
Oh, Pete Wentz. Like, oh, my
The guy,
hair
the
like
bo-
this.
the boy who fell out.
What?
You asked who the guy from Fallout Boy is.
Yeah, Pete
Guy
Wentz.
who
The
fell
boy
out.
who fell
The
out.
boys who
No,
fell
ay,
out.
Dios mío.
But I do want to say I'm so glad he wasn't wearing a fez, because I was especially.
He wore it a couple times.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a
It
fez
wasn't a fez, it
though.
was something else.
Because in the movie, didn't he wear a fez, like a straight up
Like with the
squirrel
little,
fez?
with
Yeah.
the little tassel
Yeah,
on
with
it.
a tassel on top.
Yeah. The only person who can wear that is Matt Smith. Okay.
The doctor.
I was like, I don't know.
I don't want to see an adult Aladdin wearing a fez. It was more like a cap,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which was much more acceptable.
True.
But
I would have
liked
been
it.
okay with the tassel.
The first couple scenes with him doing his street rat,
His
thing.
riffraff.
Oh my gosh, he was doing some parkour.
Dude,
It was fun.
he was definitely doing some parkour in between those buildings. I was
Parkour.
like, what gym does he go to?
The gym called the streets, son.
Yeah.
Okay, he's out here working it. So yeah, I like the additions that they did to like Aladdin's character, right? So we see him doing parkour. We see him being a straight up grifter. He's pickpocketing people. He's really good at it. You know, he does the old bump your shoulder and then steal something out of your pocket, and you don't even notice until he's halfway down the street or whatever. He does all of that.
And I like how they moved the scenes along. Like it didn't feel like they were too like drawn out, because he meets Jasmine almost immediately, and maybe he does in the animated too, but I feel like it was a lot faster in here. I
mean, the animated movie is an hour and a half, and this one is like 2 hours and 7 minutes or whatever, but it feels pretty evenly paced overall. And there's definitely some
like more songs and stuff.
There's more songs, and there's some added scenes more all songs. Over the place.
My biggest gripe though was with this first scene with Jasmine, with the song, and it was my biggest gripe the first time, and this time it wasn't as huge of a gripe, but it still annoys me, is the way that they shoot that scene. And Andre said that it's very stylistic of that director, particularly, where they're speeding, like they're speeding it up, and then they're slowing it down, and then the way that he's singing, his mouth movement looks so weird, and it's because of the way that they're doing the shot, or the way, for me, the animated goes, we got to keep one jump ahead of the bread line. And for him, it's one jump ahead of the bread line. Like, it was, like, very, like, it almost seemed, I told Andre, I was like, this needs to be, like, a half a second faster.
So he doesn't you don't like the staccato part of it?
Yeah, it was, like, really bugging me the first time. And it's the second song. Well, it's the first major opening song that you hear. So in the theater, the first time I shut down after, I was like, I don't like this. Like, I was like, done. And then this time it was okay, but I still didn't like that stylistic take that they took on that song.
So it's really interesting too, because I feel like I'm probably the most open to interpretation changes being a musical person, like out of the four of us. Luis is just like, it sounds the freaking same. Like he doesn't.
I
you know what I mean? He doesn't notice the
literally will
difference.
hear every nuance of a difference, even if nobody else notices.
No.
Like I know you'll notice, but I'm like, get out of here with that.
See, that doesn't bother me as much, because when I think of, like, for example, going to a concert, I don't want to hear the exact same interpretation as you did on the album.
You don't need to play the studio recording.
Yeah,
I do.
Why are we here?
Right.
Like, I'm here to hear you sing, like, a little bit more from your heart, a little bit more to the audience, a little bit different to keep it interesting.
Let's
so I
jam
feel
out
like
a little
that
bit more.
is the reason I'm not as annoyed.
Carlos Santana.
Viva Carlos Santana.
Anyway,
you're welcome.
I think the problem with me is that it's a song I already know, and then they change the song slightly, which is totally fine. A lot of times,
is it?
It's not.
I don't really seem like it's not.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
Like it even took me a couple listenings to get used to, like, the Prince Ali one too, that Will Smith singing.
Fun.
Yeah, it's the best scene out of it, but the song still a little bit. I feel like the only movie live action one I haven't had a problem with this one yet is the Beauty and the Beast one, but it's almost a lot of it is word for word,
which is funny because that's the one everyone has a big problem
and
with.
I have no problem with that one.
But they don't like the way she sings,
right?
That's fine.
Which is funny because in this one I think everyone sings hecka good.
Yeah, I think
I was surprised at Jasmine's voice.
Yeah,
like she came out with a like
speechless.
Although I didn't like that song upon the first viewing, I was like, "What is this?"
I didn't like it either, but she
it's
sings
just
well.
like in California Adventure. If our listeners have ever been to California Adventure, you know that now it's the Frozen show, but it used to be Aladdin, which is still by far superior.
Oh,
and I need it back like ASAP.
It was awesome.
But they had the song that Jasmine would sing in that one too, about
the
gilded
gilded cage
inside a gilded cage.
Oh, yeah.
And every
like that
time
either.
that came on, I was like, Jasmine don't need a song. Like, she doesn't need a song, right? But in this one, at least the song was fitting.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I like the woman empowerment part of it.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the strongest parts of the changes in this movie is what they did with Jasmine's character. So she's
she's always had a strong personality.
In the animated one, she's like, I ain't marrying none of these broke stupid dudes. Okay, I don't
Me
care.
and Raja
I
chill.
don't care. They ain't got money like we got money. Okay, we out here. And and you know, she was very very independent. She was not going to be tied to a man just so she could be
not
married
gonna go
off
speechless, all right?
as a princess or whatever.
Right.
In this one though, she's got all of that. Plus, she's like, I should be the leader. I should be the sultan, and
dig that.
I'm gonna tell my
It are
dad
too.
over and over and over again. And even the sultan is like kind of agreeing with her, even though he's like, a little bit staunch in his ways or whatever.
He's like too old to
He's
change
like
the
he's
law.
like, I would love to make you sultan, but come on, girl. There's never been no lady sultan.
Lady sultan.
You want me to just change stuff? I can't do that. I'm only
And
the
then
sultan.
Jafar's over here with his little staffy staff
Yeah.
doing like,
I do wish he kind of had like a little bit of a curlier mustache. He could have done some little
Dude,
villain
Jafar's
stuff up here.
features are intense. Do we still have that photo of Luis as Jafar?
I do. It's fantastic.
Sadly.
It's the best thing
Oh,
ever.
it's so
We gotta
good.
post
So
that.
good.
So I was worried about the Cave of Wonders.
Cave of Wonders.
Oh, really?
I was worried about what it would look like. And
I liked it.
They did a great job.
Yeah, it looked
Because
really
in
good.
the animated version, I mean, as a kid, it was awesome. But when you rewatch it as an adult, you're like, this is just like a weird, like, tiger mouth that, like,
Yeah.
opens and shuts. But this looked more like a mountain,
Yes.
which I thought was
It
super
still
cool.
had the tiger.
And also in the animated one, like the cave, it just goes on forever.
Yeah.
And there's definitely like a magical aspect to it. But in this one, you can kind of see the full parameters of the cave.
Almost reminds me of like an Indiana Jones type of
a temple
It's
type.
like a temple.
type
It
place.
has like magic. It's like booby trapped. Can't do the who dares disturb my slumber.
Dares disturb my slumber.
Thank
That was
you.
pretty good.
How much do you have to practice to do
He
that?
just
I
does
mean,
these things.
I just have watched the original Aladdin. I don't know, 8 million times or whatever, and
Every time we watch that movie, here's someone like, who dares? I can't do it.
I don't like it when I don't like to be waked up either. So I understand. Cave of Wonders.
When Michelle comes in bouncing around.
Goodness
Hello, it's
gracious.
me.
So yeah, I like the Cave of Wonders,
It's
and
me, Google.
and I especially liked like when Abu he grabs the jewel and
Oh.
and everything starts coming down.
It's stupid
That
monkey.
like you can see the path that carpet takes to get them out and out really pretty easily. You just got to go up and out over the lava or whatever. But in the animated one, it's like, all right, we're flying at 300 miles an hour and we're gonna go for 4 full minutes. So we're up, down, over, around. It's like, how big is this freaking cave? Where are you guys going? Why is there's so much lava everywhere?
That's the thing about live action. They definitely have to make it more realistic.
yeah, they have to
Even if it's not realistic.
tone it down just a little bit.
I liked the Cave of Wonders scene a lot. I also like that Jafar definitely seems more evil in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because he, like the scene where Aladdin's like, help me up,
Mm-hmm.
and Jafar's like, I'll help you with my foot on your hand, homie.
Better
Bam.
give me that lamp.
So
But
he seems. But I also like that they give him more of an intention. Although I needed a little more backstory. Like there was one point where he said he was in jail for 5 years, and I was like, for what?
That was cool.
Like, why were you in jail,
Yeah.
homie?
That was a cool
And
aspect of.
how'd you get where you are if you were in jail?
I just liked how he was a grifter too.
Exactly.
Yeah, he
Like
was.
that he was like, oh,
Maybe
let me
that's
show
what he
you how I
went to
could
jail
pickpocket
for.
you, bruh. I like
Right.
that.
Yeah. That was a very cool aspect of Jafar's character. He's like, bro, we're the same. Okay, check this out. And he steals something off of him.
That was awesome.
And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, bro, I was doing that. But then I was like, if you don't use this and strive for something bigger, then you're a failure or
Killmonger.
whatever. Yeah. It's kind of Killmonger in it.
Pretty awesome.
So yeah, that was very cool, and
I agree.
it made more sense when Aladdin like joined up with him. He's like, bro, I can make you super duper rich. Have you ever had money before? And Aladdin's like, no. He's like, bro, I'll give you riches beyond your wildest dreams. It's like, oh, all right, I guess I'm in.
can't say no to that.
Can't say no to that. But yeah, Jafar.
I got a lady friend I'm trying to impress, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
But Jafar does have these like extra nefarious intentions, right? Like in the cartoon, he wants to be the Sultan, basically. He wants the power. But in this one, he's like we gotta invade this country. And that way we can get all the stuff from
And of
over
course,
there.
it's the mom's country.
Right, it's the country of the
Okay.
mother of Jasmine
Well,
and
he
stuff
just
like that.
totally wants to be like, what is Julius
An
Caesar.
emperor.
Is it
Supreme ruler.
Julius Caesar?
He wants to be an emperor.
No,
wish-
he wants to be.
I think so.
Genghis Khan? Who are you talking about?
He wants to be the one where the sun never sets on the empire.
The
Yeah,
sun
a
never
conqueror.
sets
India?
on the...
What?
Then the.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
British
I'm not-
Empire.
Oh. No,
I believe the saying
conqueror.
goes with like
but
the
wasn't
British
it like?
Empire.
Oh, I thought it was like an Italian thing. No.
A mafia
one?
leader.
Mussolini?
No, not him.
All right, I don't know. What we're
Later.
talking
A dictator.
Earlier. Sure.
Earlier.
He wants to be a dictator.
Dictator. Yeah, so
I just took that way. Go.
I
She'll
like
figure it out eventually.
I like Jafar in this. In my first viewing, I was having problems with him because his voice was like really high.
Yeah,
to
it
me.
is.
Yeah, it is a little high pitched.
It is high. But I
Because who voices Jafar in the animated? He's like. That's what he sounds
What
like.
is-
Wow,
does he
it was
sound
your
like?
face that was the problem.
He doesn't sound like that.
Prince Abubu.
Abubu.
You know, Jafar is voiced by Jonathan Freeman, a white guy.
Oh my god.
Iago, yeah, you're right, Emily. That I really liked what they did with Iago because like I was coming into this movie again like, what are they gonna do without Gilbert Gottfried? What are they gonna do? Okay, you can't replace this man. You can't
Little
replace.
fatty with a crazy
Yeah.
which he is hilarious in the
Animated?
in the animated version, and even when they used to do it in California Adventure. So
The
funny.
puppet.
But it was just like a
It was like a-
perfect. What do you call that? It was pulled right out of the animated
Right,
version.
right out of
It
the
wasn't any other type of interpretation.
Yeah. Like
But-
how they do Olaf in the show
Oh yeah,
as well.
true.
Which they tried to do with Genie in that show. You know,
Sure,
make
sure,
the
sure.
jokes more modern. Which he kind of made the jokes more modern in this one.
Yeah, I would say so. But Iago,
But I kept thinking of the jokes that, like, when he was doing the "Friend Like Me" song, I kept thinking about like, because the genie, like the Robin Williams genie, he turns into like a lot of characters and things like that,
Right.
and he didn't do this as much. Where I was like, oh, was he gonna do it? Nope, he didn't do it. Okay.
I'm kind of glad he didn't do that though, because Luis hated the genie in the Aladdin show in California Adventure. Like every time we
Yeah,
watched it, he
he-
would just be like, "Oh my god, I hate him," because Luis doesn't
He do like
taking
Beyonce
it-
jokes and stuff.
Oh yeah, he didn't like
right.
how much of the fourth wall he was breaking, but in this one, it was just
It wasn't like fourth wall, really.
No, not at all.
I mean, he I wouldn't say he was breaking the fourth wall.
He's
he
the
was,
narrator, but that's how it is in the first one, right?
He was more like tapping on the glass of the fourth
Yeah.
wall, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I can see y'all. I'm not going to bust this thing open, but I know you're out there, you know? But yeah, I really liked Will Smith's interpretation of the genie. It's funny. The one thing that I wish that they had done is with the "Friend Like Me" song. In the credits, there's a full rap, complete with completely different lyrics. DJ Khaled's on that sucker, and it's not terrible. I kind of wish that they had put that version in the movie and like really made it Will Smith's character, because I don't know exactly how the 92 versions of these songs were written, but I have to imagine that Robin Williams, even when he's singing, is doing some improvisation, right?
Oh, for
I
sure.
mean,
And
they
so-
definitely let him do all
Sure.
that.
Especially
yeah.
because he does voice. He like does voices
Yes.
in it. Like
Yeah.
you have to assume he did that before they animated
Rider
it.
Exactly.
sales on service.
Exactly.
You're the boss, the king, the show.
Exactly. So
and he's turning into the
he's jumping
different
around
things.
and he's doing an impersonation the entire song. So like for Will Smith
I'm
to do
in the mood to help you, dude.
yeah.
Like,
So
you
for
know?
Will Smith to do the lines, like the exact same lines without doing kind of a similar thing where he's doing voices and stuff like that, it felt like a little diminished to me, the song
Yeah.
in,
Okay.
in total. But if he had
That's
done
fair.
it Fresh Prince style and like rapped the whole thing, I think it would
Whoa.
have fit his his version of the character a little bit better.
But I think that they would have worried about all the Michelles of the world.
Yes,
And they would have been like, everybody's going to hate the fact that he came in here and rapped.
Right.
You
Can you
know?
imagine if Genie had just like popped up DJ Khaled to to like intro his song? That would've been
Oh, I think I would have left the
Carpet,
theater.
Carpet just gets a face and it's DJ Khaled.
Carpet puts headphones on his tassels or whatever. DJ Carpet.
Oh gosh.
That would have been funny. And that's the kind of
I do like that
But he
version
already-
though, because that this sounds silly, but we listen to Disney Pandora.
Mm-hmm.
Kids love it. And that's the version they play on there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funky in a good way.
I like it.
you know?
Yeah. Yes.
But that one doesn't bug me as much because when I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, Will Smith did his own version. Like, that's
Yeah.
a Will Smith
Right.
song.
That's
to
what
me.
I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
that's
You know what
why
I mean?
I wanted them to have made the bold choice to put that version of the song in the movie proper,
Okay.
as opposed to doing the classic version of the song. And you know, you're right, Michelle. That like if I had seen it that way the first time watching it, I probably wouldn't have liked it either.
Yeah.
But I think overall for the movie, it probably would have fit a little bit better
Maybe.
for me.
I think
don't
I just
know.
needed a little bit more from him in that song. Not necessarily what you're saying.
Yeah.
But maybe the director was just telling him to interpret it that way.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, we can't do too much because,
Yeah.
well, let's be real, everybody,
Knows the song.
Disney people who are sitting there are thinking Robin Williams in their head. Like,
Right.
that
Yeah.
was like the biggest controversy of them even remaking this.
Yeah.
Because
Is that he's irreplaceable.
he is. Like, I literally
I'm glad
love
that
Robin
they
Williams,
did that
so.
though. Like, they did it
was-
justice without
yeah.
trying to do it justice.
It
you know?
was very, like, well
What did
done.
you think about that scene, Schmoop?
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. You guys completely lost me when you started talking deep into this whole musical theme. I was just like, I just want to get me on a carpet and fly out of here. It's like, how much longer we're gonna stay in here? We might as well be in the lamp with Genie for another 1,000
A
years.
Lamborghini?
And I said we might as well be in the lamp with Genie.
I thought you said in a Lamborghini,
No.
like a Lamborghini.
No, I'm saying we might as well be in the lamp with Genie for another 1,000 years
I get
talking
it.
about the music.
If you say it again,
Okay.
I'm gonna die.
Quit
Lamborghini.
interrupting me.
How do you feel about the scene?
I thought it was great, man. I know, like, it was always not a gripe per se, but it was always a concern, not to overshadow, RW, but he made it his own and he rocked it.
Right.
He freaking rocked the whole scene.
For sure.
you
I
know?
think he was also mindful of that fact, too.
His music, I mean, his singing wasn't the best.
Yeah.
His singing was probably about as good as when he tried to be a rap artist, back in the late 90s.
Excuse me, Miami was like the song.
Party in the city where
Yeah.
the
Heat
is
is
on
on.
all night on the beach. till the
But
break of
anyways,
dawn.
I think what really helped that hit, his song is, I guess you'd say the cinematography. No,
yeah,
well, because it's all animated. That's what
right.
I'm
It's all CG, but it is still
Yeah.
cinematography.
But yeah, like
Mhm.
that helped the entire thing up. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You kind of it drew focus away from his actual rapping skills, and you're just like, It's kind of like what Maui. Like Maui was trying to confuse or gaslight Moana with all this stuff, and then that's exactly what happened with Genie. I was just like, I'm forgetting, Robin Williams.
the
sang this song
spectacle
too.
Yeah.
is getting
But I
me.
thought it was a good.
So, in the animated one, does Aladdin use his first wish to get out of the cave?
No,
It's the
No.
same thing. He does a similar thing, actually.
he tricks Genie basically into getting
What a
them
little
out of the
grifter,
cave.
you little
Yeah.
He's a little shicer.
So they're out of the cave and they're talking about how he wants to get the girl, right? And he
And they're bouncing in the
wishes
city where the
to
heat is on,
become
okay?
a prince, all right? It's Prince Ali Ababwa, okay?
I love
And
that in here how
it's
he's
the
like,
Ababwa.
your name is Ali of.
Ababwa. You see the brochure? It's real hot. So
I'll let you read it on the way. You don't
from
need to look at
here
it now.
on out, now I was really into the Will Smith Genie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from like this moment on, and the next scene is where he killed it. to
We
me.
were laughing so hard at this next scene.
He killed it.
when he like takes him into the desert and they're
Yes.
talking.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
He
We were
was
laughing
so with the
Hey,
colors.
guys.
How about a chartreuse? Okay.
The whole part. Well, he got me before that because he was describing being like living in the lamp for 10,000 years. It's just like brass.
No, that's what I mean.
What's
All
that?
of
Is that
this.
some copper? Brass.
All of this right here, like,
That's what he was trying to say.
I was dying.
was so good. I
was
was like,
funny.
here we go. This is Genie in his own way. Like
Yeah.
at this point,
Exactly.
you know.
So he dresses him up in some prince clothes. He does it a couple of times.
Periwinkle.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
I like.
Prince.
Oh, Luis and I were dying because he's like, do you want to look like this? And he like creates another Aladdin, right? And he's like hecka far away, and then it like pans to their conversation, and then he's like still over there, and he's
Still,
like, hello.
Hi.
I think he says he wants to go home now
The guy's
too.
like, I go home now.
I can make you a prince. He's like, we're my palace. So good. So good.
And this was the first Easter egg I saw,
Mm-hmm.
but cute little carpets over there, which I have to say, and I'm sure I said this in the original Aladdin episode, but in that California Adventure show, Aladdin. Carpet was the best character.
Bees.
Oh my god, she was so good. Anywho, Carpet here is pretty cute too.
Yeah.
And Carpet's over there making sand
Making
castles,
a sand castle.
right?
I was dying.
So the first time she makes a hand castle, sand castle, and then the second time it goes back to him in the background. It's literally
it's a full Disney castle.
Yeah, it's like Cinderella's castle or Sleeping Beauty's castle, and like she throws the sand, and it looks like the freaking.
It looks
It's
like
so
the Tinkerbell
hilarious.
going over. Oh
over
my
the
god!
top. It was so cute.
And it's just in the background. Like it's not even like in focus.
No.
Really. Like,
No.
they're talking in the foreground, and Carpet's just like playing with sand in the back. It's
I love
hilarious.
Carpet.
Really
Carpet's
good.
always the best.
Really good stuff. So
and when
yeah.
he's dressing him, he's coming up with all the colors that his outfit should be.
Yeah.
Periwinkle, chartreuse. We got the gold up in here.
Luis is like, "What's chartreuse?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's one of those colors."
one of them pink, purple, green, blues. You know?
Green. Definitely not green.
I don't know what color it is.
If it's
Okay, I'll
not
show
a
you right
Roy
now.
G. Biv, it is not a color.
That's right. There's 5 colors. Okay.
And then the next song,
7.
okay, so he's
Whatever.
a prince, and they ride in on the elephant, right? This is classic Aladdin. And
Prince Ali.
Will Smith killed it in this song
Yes.
to me.
So-
This he was much more fun. He was getting it. He was dancing.
That's the
he
thing.
was doing his thing.
is that the disparity between him as it is green chartreuse the disparity between him as Blue Genie and him as Will Smith Genie, the performance just shines through so much more when he's Will Smith Genie. And I mean I don't know if they could have done it any other way, because like we watched some behind the scenes, and you know he's in his little blue motion capture
Yeah,
suit, so
sure.
he's doing it there on set and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But still, when he's just himself and he's in costumes and stuff, and he's dressed up as a lady, but he forgot to take out his
good
beard
God.
and stuff, it's
My
just so
thought
funny.
here is that, like, if you're thinking of it like story wise, when he first comes out of the lamp, he's just Genie. He
Right.
doesn't
Yeah.
know him. He doesn't care about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's just doing his job. And then at this point, like, he comes out of like, oh my gosh, this guy's actually cool.
Right.
Like, he's
He
not that
considers
creepy
He's not that guy.
Aladdin a
You know,
friend.
what is he
Yeah.
gonna do? I think he then becomes like who Genie really is,
I like
or
that.
would be if he
Yeah.
wasn't stuck in a lamp all the
Right.
time.
Yeah, I like that interpretation a lot. So my favorite part.
Hold
what
on, we missed the part where he gets the little top knot.
oh,
I'm sorry, that
give me my
made
little top knot. My
that
little good.
gassed me. Okay.
See, the funniest thing to me is the callback. I think he's getting Aladdin dressed up, and he's like, "This is a big hat," and he's like, "That's not a big hat." And then he walks in later with the freaking biggest hat you ever seen in your life.
Oh my
The
God.
planet.
Just the way he's like, "That's not a big hat."
He was dressing Aladdin,
didn't see
right?
that?
And he gave Aladdin a sizable hat. And
Yeah.
Aladdin's
Oh,
like,
right
this hat
there
is
in
too
the
big.
desert, huh?
Yeah, in the
when they're in the
desert.
desert.
Jake, my favorite part was like right there in the desert when they got out, right? It was that scene. I'm going a little bit further back, but
Sure,
it's
sure,
the
sure.
scene where like he says, "I met a girl." I don't know who says it, either Aladdin or Genie's like, and you had a connection, and then they pan to Monkey, and Monkey's like, like, kind of, he has a face like, did
And
you
he's
know?
like, she's a princess, and he's like, they all are.
Yeah,
Well,
he's.
the monkey was like, did you really have a connection?
I just couldn't handle the hat
Say so.
thing because
That
that
was cute.
Literally, I'm like, how is Will Smith's head staying up right now? Like, I don't know how to explain how big
So
that
big.
He
hat
looked
was.
like the prima donna in what do you call that? In Phantom of the Opera, where she comes out with that super huge
gigantic
headdress.
headdress.
Oh my
I
god!
don't know. I just felt like this
Chiquita Banana on another
Yeah.
level.
this was Will Smith in his element as the genie.
Oh yeah.
Come here we go in the old bazaar. Hey you,
When they
Prince Ali. He
Yeah.
was doing so good.
when they all like stop and go like, Prince Ali.
He's like, I'ma wait for
He's
you.
like, hey,
I'll wait for you.
we gonna go when you say go. Okay, we're not gonna go
What, you
until
want
you
him to
say
drop
it.
the beat or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Yeah, he wanted him
Assault
to.
You want to just go like. It was great.
He was it was so funny. But yes, where he's dressed up like the girl. Yeah, he's generous, so generous.
Yeah. This whole scene, the Prince Ali song, I think this is like the showstopper of the movie.
Absolutely.
Because the colors are flying, the costumes
All
are
of it.
popping.
beautiful.
Genie is being hilarious. Yeah, I think it's a.
Yeah, Aladdin's like in the foreground, just smiling. Like this is all about Will Smith right now
yeah.
as Genie.
It's fun to watch Aladdin because he's like, looks
He's
great.
got 75 golden camels. He's just like,
I
hello.
like that. He got the monkeys. He got the monkeys.
Got the monkeys.
Genie explains when he's turning him into a prince that the genie magic is actually gonna like disguise Aladdin's face.
Which doesn't make sense because in the animated one, I'm like, yo, that's obviously Aladdin.
Like, Jasmine, you met this fool yesterday. What do you mean you can't?
Tom Cruise, bro.
What do you mean you don't know what he looks like?
Exactly. Yeah. So that helped with this a lot.
But this next scene was highly embarrassing, where he's
Go ahead.
meeting Jasmine.
Nah, the jams though.
It was very funny.
I've got some jam and this thing
Blackberry
under
jams.
this veil for
And lavender
dramatic
jams.
effect.
It was so embarrassing, but I have to give the actor so much credit because it didn't feel like he was acting.
Right.
It
No.
felt like it was the
Oh,
most awkward
gee.
moment.
The handmaiden's just like, yeah, he tried.
I like jam.
Yeah. She's so nice.
Can you like find
Dude,
the
that was
actual
more-
script there because
Yeah,
I
maybe.
really appreciated that.
That was more awkward than when I took you to Cold Stone to get ice cream that one time.
Oh, that was the worst.
And freaking
the first time Luis
Yeah, why
tried to
was that
date me
awkward?
was really bad. You guys.
Oh,
That was bad.
Go ahead. Tell
But
the
just
story.
like Ali, I came back.
Okay.
how was it embarrassing? What happened?
Yeah,
It was
what
just
happened?
awkward for her.
He was
And
for her
Because you
He
were
was
trying to
like,
order ice cream.
Do you want to go get some ice cream? I was like, sure. You want to go to Cold Stone? Yeah. When we get there, he's like, what do you want?
He was just being weird.
Yeah. You want to
This
sit down?
is-
You want to sit down? You want to go to this party at one of my brother's houses? I mean, not really. It's 2:00 in the afternoon. Are you sure? We're gonna go drink a lot of beers and. maybe
What a frat, dude.
You could stop. You could stop.
She's doing a pretty spot on impression, Lou.
You know,
It's okay. I made Andre date me, so
I think you're pretty hot. You can have my babies. It's cool.
He said that back then. Huh?
I probably told Andre to have my babies on a first date. I don't know.
I'm having the
Andre,
babies.
You have her babies.
Yeah, have my
You're
babies.
gonna seahorse that stuff.
All right. Nay.
No.
Hey.
I found the line of the
Oh,
jams.
gosh,
It says,
read it.
Aladdin says, "We have jams," and then Jafar goes, "Jams." Iago goes, "Jams." And Aladdin says, "Yes, jams.
We got
Yam jams, fig
and
jams.
Oh, yam jams.
date jams, seedless, delicious, exotic jams." And Genie goes, "Move away from the jams."
And then at the end, he's like, I've never been so embarrassed in my life. I would rather be in my lamp for
My
another
lamp.
1,000 years and live through that again.
Because Genie's fly and Aladdin is not, which is so interesting because Aladdin is
Aladdin
fly
is
on.
fly.
He's fly on the streets, and he is fly. It's like get yo ish together
Yeah.
right now.
He's like, you will not mess up my night.
That's like the main problem with
Yeah,
this character.
I am at a party and you will not mess up my night.
Is that
Okay.
even though he's a legit cool dude, he has zero confidence
And he has no game.
and no game. Not when talking to Jasmine anyway.
Oh, just like you.
Thank you. For that. Wait, that was a smackdown backhand compliment. That was a.
Andre thought it was good until it was
She
not
put
good.
powder on the back of her hand and smacked me with it. That was rough.
He has plenty of confidence, y'all.
Thank you. I don't.
Now.
He said, "Thank you, I don't."
So yeah, we continue on in the movie. We see more stuff with Genie, seeing Aladdin becoming a friend to him.
Yeah.
And so he's helping him out without Aladdin have to actually wish for
Like
the
at the
things.
party?
He goes to the party. He helps him dance.
Dude, he
which
looks
is
like a
really cool.
puppet.
Yeah.
And he does a backflip, which apparently was too much.
He was showing off.
He was, yeah.
But Genie is like you said, he's also like finding fun in like being a human or whatever, and so he's like getting a crush on the handmaiden
On Dahlia.
and so when
Which who wouldn't? She's so cute.
Oh my
God,
Heck, cute.
I've had like a legit crush on this lady for a long time because she was on SNL and she was also in like quite a few episodes of New Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she was on SNL?
Yeah, she was
Really?
on SNL. Nassim Pedrad, she's a hilarious lady.
Luis and I loved her on New Girl.
Ellie?
Yeah.
Her and Winston were dating.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
So
right.
she ended
God.
up having Winston's babies.
Was she the cop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I thought. So yeah, she's a great
Hard
actress.
nosed with Winston.
Winston's my favorite.
It's because you are Winston.
Yeah.
They
Damn,
made me into a
Nick
TV
Miller.
character. Watch New Girl, everybody. So yeah, we see Genie, like he asks Dahlia out on a date, so they go out, and while that's happening,
And no,
Aladdin is able to.
I love where she's like, one moment, please.
Oh yeah.
And she closes the door. She's like,
She like screams. Yeah.
The way she talks is so funny.
Yeah.
I would like. How do I take a stroll?
Yeah.
She almost sounds like an AI robot sometimes.
I accept. Please continue. Asking me out or whatever. So they go out, and Aladdin he starts to try to schmooze Jasmine.
Yeah, bro, you can't just be showing up in girls' rooms like that.
Shows up in a room. He starts lying. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly where Babo is, right here on the map." And
Genie,
and
just tell her the truth.
that's true. Yeah, I mean that's
That was the only thing that was a little bit Robin Williams-y to me.
Yeah.
Because I could see that doing where it's like, bzzz, and he's like on the map.
Oh, right.
I liked it though.
It was cute.
I mean, he didn't turn into a bee, so you know.
No, he didn't turn into a bee.
But he
similar.
did. That was cute too. That was the second one that I think was pretty obvious. He the map was there, of the region, and then he shows up on the map, right?
Yes.
Genie does. And in the background, when it shows Ababa the first time, it's like the map of Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Did
Oh,
you
that
not
makes
notice
sense.
that?
I didn't know.
Oh, I did.
No.
The castle was,
it was
right
like
there.
the
was like
castle was right in the middle.
Tomorrowland.
It had Tomorrowland, Adventureland.
Frontierland.
Yeah.
Dang, I should have paid more attention.
But it all was drawn.
And then it goes
right?
away when they
When
find
Bob
Baba.
was
Gotcha,
on there.
gotcha.
It was pretty cute.
So Bob was right.
So he starts kind of being himself again and not this prince facade that he's
Right.
putting on, and she's
Prince
into it,
of
right?
Yeah.
And he's gonna show her the world, baby.
Right. So they hop on the carpet. They
Can't
go
go
out
wrong.
there.
I think like halfway through their song, I was like, yeah, that's a ticket right there. If some dude just was like, look at my magic carpet, let's go, I'd be like, yes, let's go.
Okay.
Well, and during this scene, Luis and I looked at each other and were like, we love the fact that they just went around the region.
Yes.
Yeah.
They didn't go off to
They didn't go to-
Russia,
they didn't
go to France.
go to China.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they
that-
didn't need to do that.
Right.
So it was awesome that they just went around to the ocean and then came back and then
Because that
looked
doesn't
at their
make any
people.
sense. All like in one night? Nah. Oh.
Bro, Magic Carpet's got like
Kinda
Santa
mad.
Claus.
Well, then
powers,
how did you
okay?
feel when he got banished to the ends of the earth and he came back in a couple hours?
Oh, we actually discussed this.
Okay.
If it's where's it supposed to take place?
Middle East, I assume.
I'm
Middle
assuming
East or
he's in
India?
Middle East
Antarctica
or
or
India.
something.
He probably got somewhere in Mount Everest in Nepal, which is semi
in
reasonable.
Nepal.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
You know,
But they looked like ice. It looked like Antarctica to me.
Well,
he was up high in the mountain.
also the way I was thinking is that so
Could
like
have been like on
There's
Everest or
glaciers in
something.
Russia and all
Yeah.
that.
I was thinking that it was like Antarctica, like he did send him to the ends of the earth or whatever. And at that point, he had like kidnapped, or he was trying to take Jafar was trying to take over, right? And when we see Aladdin coming back on the carpet, Jafar is trying to marry Jasmine. So I was like, oh, maybe it's been a day or two.
No.
You know? But he
He's
probably
doing
did
it.
it in the next hour. You know, got the
He found himself a priest
Hey.
and said, let's do it.
priest. Let's go, marry me up. I got witnesses.
So, anyways, Jasmine likes Ababwa Ali. Okay, they digging each other.
Blah, blah,
But
blah.
she also figures out that he is Aladdin.
Aladdin, the boy that she met in the streets the other day, and
And you get excited as the viewer, like, good.
Right.
I forget that, like, he's like, yeah, but I was lying about that.
yeah.
I'm actually a Babwa and I was pretending just like you were pretending.
Right.
Well, like she was just about ready to.
And also, like, that's just a way for her to like him even more if you think about it. Because then she's like, he's literally just like me.
Right.
And I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
that's cold, Aladdin.
I did.
Oh, yeah.
I did like that they kept Jasmine's lie going for a little bit longer in this, because I think in the cartoon he finds out that she's the princess like that day.
Yeah.
Right. Because the guards come and capture him or whatever. But in this, he, they go their separate ways, and then he sees her later, and she's pretending to be the handmaiden, and while he's pretending to be a prince, and it's like,
Oh,
okay,
yes.
so they're
I
kind
am Princess
Yeah.
Jasmine. I'm going
Come
to
wash
I'm going to
my
wash my
cat.
cat now.
They wash themselves.
This cat won't wash itself.
That was so funny. So yeah,
Yes.
I like that their lives were on the same page for a minute, and then when she figures out that he's actually Aladdin, he's like, "Oh, well, let me just throw another lie on top of that.
So,
I
yeah.
was actually doing what you was doing, and I'm
So the
lying
thing
again."
that I like the most about this one is Jafar knows something's up. He's like, I don't know where Bobble is. I don't know what the heck's going on. This is suspicious.
This seems
but
like
it's
some
the
grifter
bird,
nonsense.
honestly, that knows all in this one. It's Iago. Well, he would be nothing without his little henchman because he's like, Aladdin, lamb,
Thief in the palace. Thief in the palace.
thief in the palace. So he basically tells Jafar, like, yo, that's Aladdin. Like, I heard Jasmine say it. Right? So this was intense where he freaking, like, kidnaps him and puts him on a chair and was like, I'm going to drop you in the ocean, and if you don't die, I know it's because of the lamb.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
It's the classic Salem witch trial kind of thing. Like,
Oh.
if this witch drowns, then maybe she wasn't a witch.
Good God.
Jeez, babe.
That's what
It's
they
true,
did.
though. That's exactly
That's
what they did.
They did that to women. They were like, I'm pretty sure this lady's a witch, so I'm going to just throw her in the ocean, and if she survives, she's definitely a witch.
And it's like, oh, you know some maths? Okay.
Right.
Ya witch.
Anyway, so I really like this because it was giving me Ursula vibes with the contract under the water. Like, yes, I sign away that I want to be saved. La 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 la. Okay.
To me, Aladdin, of being of sound mind and body, do wish for Genie to save my life. Okay, that's right. Yeah, that was funny. So yeah, I think as we get farther into the movie, Jafar, as he's gaining more power, right? He becomes the most powerful sorcerer in the world. And that's how he sends everybody away. I think Jasmine has her like music video moment here.
Oh my
where,
gosh, yeah.
Where the guards like
Where everything's paused.
the guards
and
take
she's,
her
like,
away,
singing.
and she walks off, and then she like looks back all dramatically, and then speechless. So she's it's just it's like a very odd sequence in the movie because every other musical moment has been like within the real physical world
Sure.
of the movie, whereas this is happening like in her mind.
It's
I
supposed
guess.
to be happening like in real time.
Yeah, she's
But it's-
she's like deleting these guards out of the way. She's Thanos snapping them.
My favorite was when
out
she
of
just like
existence.
there was like this curtain or like a rug hanging and she just tore it down like really for no reason and it was just like floating
It was
in
so
the air in
floating
the
in the air. I
background.
was like, whoa,
I was
okay.
like, why'd she do that?
Wow, how'd she do that? So yeah, she does that, and then when she snaps out of it, she's like, "Hey, guess what, fool? I'm the Sultan now. Hakeem, get him."
Ooh, I like Hakeem. We didn't even really talk about
He
him
was
a lot.
cool.
I like
yeah,
Hakeem.
he's the
Hakeem!
the chief guard or whatever.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot too because he was like, well, I'm loyal to the Sultan, and this guy's the Sultan now
was
because
a
he just
Dormalaji.
wished for it. Yeah, he's a Dormalaji. He's a Koye.
Yeah.
And when Jasmine proclaims herself as Sultan, he's like, you know what, you're right, my princess. Hey, what's
He's
up?
like, all right, bye.
Let's get this.
But
fool.
then he died, right? Oh no, he didn't die. He got poofed. Where'd they poof him to?
I don't remember.
Poof.
Poof.
It was the arm.
He got Loki.
So
He got pruned.
Yeah, pruned.
as they continue,
He got jammed.
Jafar is no longer content with just having this amount of power.
Nah, he gotta be a sorcerer now.
He has the lamp, so he's making wishes out here.
First wish was to be a sultan. The second one was to be the most powerful sorcerer.
In the world.
And he banishes. Well, he finds a Prince Abubu, and Prince Abubu comes back, and Jasmine is like, "What? You were Aladdin? You lied to me?" And he was like,
Hold on,
"I'm
can we
sorry."
pause? Oh, I guess it's about the same time in the movie.
Yeah.
I like that, and we kind of said this, but I like that Jafar here is nefarious for different purposes. That he was like, I'm going to marry her, Sultan, to make you feel like,
Crap.
like awful. Like it was more revenge than it was like I think she's sexy. Because
Right.
in the animated version, it was much more creepy.
He slave layed her. He was
Right?
like, wear this outfit, wear this chain, and let's
it was
hang
so
out.
nasty.
It was so
and
creepy.
so in my head, I was like, if they do that in the live action, it's going to be way too much.
Yeah, it's gonna be
And
awful.
thank God it was more like, I'm doing this to make, to
I'm
ruin
gonna
your
I'll
life.
make you suffer.
You know? And that,
Yeah, I agree.
it was better to watch.
Yes.
I think. I mean, I think it would have been way too graphic for a Disney movie if they had gone the other way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the whole woman empowerment thing kind of settled that out a little
Yes,
bit better.
Yeah, because I don't think this version of Jafar gives
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't
want her
care
at
about
all.
women
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
Honestly, he just wants power.
Exactly. So yeah, he's trying to marry Jasmine, and that's when Aladdin comes in. The
On
last
his magic
second
carpet.
with magic carpet.
That's what he did. It was like the Incredibles.
Yeah, we heard it.
Yeah. There's a struggle over the lamp, and I believe
He makes the bird real big.
yes.
Oh.
That's right. Aladdin grabs Jasmine. They fly off on the carpet, and then Jafar sends Iago after them and turns him into a giant dragon bird or
It was
whatever,
nasty.
which is actually like pretty cool. I like the way he looked.
like-
He had like black and red feathers.
Oh, he was creepy.
It was legit.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Oh, wow. He seemed like a vulture, man.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah,
falcon
yeah. He turned that parrot into a
But he
into a
was
bird
fat,
of prey.
Like,
Yeah. It would have been funny if he was still talking the entire time, like beef, beef.
Right.
So they
boo boo.
yeah. Abu fights Iago. Yeah, I believe in this scene, Abu grabs the lamp, and
There's a lot of lamp grabbing going on.
there's a lot of lamp tossing back and forth. It's the football, and everybody's fumbling, you know.
It would have been funny if Genie was like, "Y'all give me a whiplash."
I like that Genie is still like helping him out because they had a falling out. We didn't really talk about their falling out.
Right.
But Genie wasn't even like, he didn't even care. He's like, I'm not worried about you wishing me free. I'm like genuinely worried that you're making bad choices
That you're gonna
right now,
just
homie.
try to lie to this woman that you love for the rest of your life, which is a bad idea. Bro, I've been alive for 10,000 years. I can tell you this is a bad idea.
But he's still like helping him out.
Yeah. So he's helping him out this entire time. He's the one who sent Carpet to the ends of the
I was
earth
gonna
or
say,
whatever.
Genie, you do a lot of things you're probably not supposed to do.
He says he finds the gray area
Yeah.
in the magic, which is cool.
Is it me or like as Aladdin's getting teleported, Genie just kind of does one of
Yeah.
like a sidearm?
For the,
He does
for
a-
the carpet.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know
he
why.
just like pushed carpet that way too.
I don't know if like I just was imagining that, or maybe I had seen it. Like for some reason in that scene, I just picture it
He
the
did.
same as Monsters, where they get banished with the Abominable.
Oh, right.
So I just kind of
Yes.
think,
It
did this
can't be
really
like
happen
that.
like that, or was that a scene in
Yeah.
Monsters? So,
Yeah.
okay.
He did it real slyly, so it was almost missable.
It is very similar to that.
But yeah, so eventually Jafar has the lamp once again, and Aladdin convinces him to like, hey, bro, you're not even really like the most powerful being in the universe. This dude is, the genie is. Yeah, man, if you really want to be powerful, you should try to be like him. And Jafar's like, that's a pretty good point.
That's
And
where
Genie's
Aladdin
like,
goes
wow,
to
you're
his
so
roots.
good with words, you little trickster.
Yeah, he goes down to his roots of being a
Sly grifter.
Talking to
grifter.
Han
Yeah.
Solo'd him.
Yeah, he Han Solo'd him. So Jafar is
a
like,
lot of trouble. Trouble here.
Jafar wishes to be the greatest being
was
in
Obi-Wan,
the
Doc.
universe.
I just like that scene. It's so funny. You don't want to see his past. We don't want to see his past. You don't want no trouble here. We don't want no trouble. You will leave. We are leaving. I just love that scene.
Can you put your hat back on, please?
I don't need to because I'm talking right into my
Nah, you were talking out of it.
I like him talking into the hat. It's pretty funny.
Kind of funny.
Yeah.
All
So
right, come on here. We got a out of control wife over here.
Oh! and I, ooh.
2, 3, 4.
Uh-oh.
And I,
Over.
ooh.
She's giving him the side eye so hard. Anyway, Jafar wishes to be a genie, basically, and he doesn't realize that being a genie comes with shackles and a tiny living space.
Itty bitty living space.
Living space.
Phenomenal cosmic power. Itty bitty living space.
That line reminds me of Loki every time.
Wait, why?
Glorious purpose.
Oh, yeah.
I am burdened with a glorious purpose.
Glorious purpose. Phenomenal cosmic power.
Itty bitty living space.
Yeah, it's all the same.
He's pretty much Loki, right?
Yeah, basically. So he gets banished to TVA or whatever, and yeah, they flick the lamp off into the distance, and
To the Cave of Wonders.
to the Cave of Wonders. That's right, and everyone is saved. The day has ended, and Aladdin uses his third wish for Genie to become free. He de-genies, right? So in the cartoon, Genie, his shackles just come off, but he's still got all of his powers,
And he's blue. And
and he's still blue. But in this, Genie becomes a human, basically, which is interesting because like the way that they set this up, like the way that they banished Jafar, I was like, oh, this sets it up for a sequel pretty well. And I wonder if they do a sequel, which I believe there is an Aladdin 2 slated to come out at some point, if they'll give Genie his powers back.
Maybe
in
he
some
just
way,
wasn't
shape, or
using
form.
them.
I mean, yeah, maybe. But I feel like
I don't know.
They
He
would
was
have
more
shown.
worried about hooking up with the handmaiden.
That's right. He's like, Dolly, we getting a boat, and she was like, yes, a boat.
I want 2 kids.
Yeah, she was ready.
That was so
She was ready to go. So everybody gets married. Aladdin and Jasmine get married. There's a party. Genie and Dolly are there, and then I think does it cut back to the frame story in the beginning where he's telling his kids about
Yes,
this
at
whole
the end
thing?
it does.
Yes.
And Jasmine becomes the sultan,
Yes, and Jasmine
so
becomes
she
the
can marry
sultan.
whoever she wants.
And Aladdin is the first man of Agrabah. It's great. It's really cool. And that's the end, right?
Yeah.
Nothing else happens. I don't think there was a post-credit
They
scene or
dance.
anything like that. That's right. They dance at
It was fun.
at the wedding party, which is fun. I was doing all kinds of.
Oh my god.
Andre was like,
Indian
dude, put me in a
dances.
Bollywood movie.
Put me in the Bollywood.
That is
all right?
the Egyptian dance, Andre, that you're doing there.
Their
Whatever,
dancing
whatever.
looks so fun, like whoever choreographed this. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to do that.
I said that multiple times. Like the choreographer did it.
Yeah.
It looks so fun.
It's
And even
legit.
the one where Genie had him working in the beginning was good. And I agree, the backflip was too much. Like, no.
There came a point where I was
Slightly
like,
overboard.
okay, what do we do?
Now you're just showing off.
Yeah. That was the point, though.
Yeah.
But it was very good.
Yeah.
Did people like
Overall,
it?
enjoyable.
Hey, we can actually talk about if it made money or not because it was pre-pandemic.
That's true. This is pre-pandemic. So let's do money.
Terms I'll understand.
Let's do money first.
Right.
This movie had a budget of $183 million.
Yeah,
okay?
because some of those scenes were
Pretty high.
crazy.
This is a good looking movie, and there's a ton of CGI. So worldwide, it has a box office of $1.05 billion.
Awesome.
So yeah, this is a billion dollar baby right here.
Okay, so I made
I was not expecting that, not because it wasn't worth it. Like it didn't live up to that.
Yeah.
But I feel like the live actions are not usually that well box
received.
office.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
so that one made 1 point something billion. Can you remind me what like Infinity War made again? Because isn't that the highest grossing one?
No, Endgame made like $2.4 billion.
Okay,
Something like that.
okay.
So it's just double, double and a half with this one.
But if you think
Yeah, but
about
if
it,
a,
like
if a
for
movie's
this,
pulling off $1 billion,
I was
like,
gonna
whoa.
say for this to be half of Endgame with
Yeah.
the biggest following in the world, practically,
Indeed.
like that, it did well.
Yeah,
Heck
and
yeah,
and I
it
think
did.
I think some of the other live actions have done well as well. Yeah, the live action Lion King made $1.65 billion.
I don't even have words to say
which
that.
is wild, right?
didn't
Luis and
watch
I-
it, right?
No, we refused.
Oh, okay.
We still refused.
I mean, honestly, you guys are not making the worst choice. in the
I
world,
didn't like
'cause
yeah,
it's-
I mean, my favorite meme.
We'll watch Avatar again.
My favorite meme is like, try to convince me that you're not watching an animated movie.
Right, exactly. It's live action. Sure,
Yeah.
go ahead. Believe what you will. So Aladdin made over $1 billion at the box office worldwide. It did very, very well. On Rotten Tomatoes, though, this movie has a tomato meter score of 57%.
Good lord.
What?
The audience score is 94%. There's a crazy disparity there. The critics' consensus
Please
says...
give me the critics. Yeah.
Critics' consensus says, Aladdin retells its classic source material story with sufficient spectacle and skill, even if it never approaches the dazzling splendor of the animated original. Now, honestly, that consensus does not scream 57%.
Yeah,
to me.
that's too
That
low.
sounds like a 70. Like
Right.
if you wanted to be.
That sounds way too low.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't necessarily blame the critics for rating it this way because upon my first viewing, I was kind of giving it the same kind of bad vibe feeling. You know, I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't like that much. You know, and it was only after
Yeah.
a second viewing where I feel like I can appreciate the movie for what it is.
Yeah, I
on
think
its
you're
own.
right because I think I would have given this movie like a
much
6.5
lower-
or
much lower
something
score.
upon my first viewing.
Yeah.
But 50 is still pretty bad. Like,
57
I
is
wouldn't have
pretty
given
low.
it a 5.
Right.
I think it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I even knew out of the live actions when I was watching it the first time that it was better than some of the others.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
even if I
That
didn't
was
necessarily like
pre-Mulan.
it. You notice how nobody's talking about that movie? That's because it was crap.
And there was too many.
No,
phoenixes.
we still talking about it. We bring it up every time.
You just better watch it.
I still haven't seen it, and I'm so glad I didn't go see it. Y'all spent money like
$30.
Dummies.
Spent
We spent
$30
$30 big
for 3
boy.
of us to watch it, so I guess it's only like 10 bucks.
no.
I didn't give you no
Oh
money.
yeah, that's true.
We take turns buying it on the plus right now. But
I mean,
What are you doing right now,
you
Michelle?
have to pay me to watch that movie.
it's itchy.
You're getting toe
You're
jam.
on my couch.
She's got jams.
I don't have.
She's got
jam.
toe
Toe
jams.
jams.
Get out of here! You guys better cut
She's
this
got
out.
undernail jams.
Which would be
Fine,
toe
I'll
jam.
itch my toe on my husband.
There you go. It's a better option.
All right. So, what do we want to rate this live action?
I want to go
Aladdin
first.
film?
I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Stop. Get that out of my armpit.
7.5. The music is like a 7 or 6.5 to me still.
God.
But like upon this time, I would say a 7.5. It was good. It's fine. It was. I really liked watching a lot of the like more actiony type scenes. Honestly, just the Prince Ali, na, 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 that scene. That's why I'm rating it a lot higher.
Yeah.
But like, I appreciated it a lot more upon this viewing. That I would say I would watch it again now. Like it was enjoyable.
Right.
Luis.
It's funny. I kind of went a bit backwards. I would think that this was a 8, but I'd give it about a 7 now.
Okay. Thinking back on it.
Yep. I would have rated it higher a lot more if we would have done the podcast right when we watched it the first time.
Yeah, that happens.
Do you have a reason, or are you just gonna?
I guess I was more. How should I put it? You can hear me pretty well. The allure of the movie made it seem a lot better for me at the beginning, but after I had already seen it, going back to it a second time, yes, I was excited, but it was like,
Luis is speechless.
Fair enough.
what? I've explained it.
It's fair enough.
You're honestly turning it into Hamilton, just so you know,
Alexander.
because that's not how it goes.
Oh. Whatever.
name is
Oh yeah, that's the
Alexander
different. That's the
Yeah.
Hamilton song. Dang. Oops. Anywho, Emily, what is
The
your...
ladies, you know when the ladies
Yeah,
sing.
I remember.
Yes. Emily.
I'm gonna give it like an 8. I think you guys are downgrading it, but I would totally watch it again. And Luis is lying to you, listeners. He's in the other room. Okay. He liked it much more than he's given it. Okay. He likes to act like he's all hard. Okay.
And not into musicals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shut up. Is he in the shower?
Oh, he's taking
now?
a shower, so
What
we can
I'm so
turn on
sorry.
the shower.
I'm so sorry for my
We
husband.
didn't even have his cake yet. It's his birthday, by the way, listeners.
Yeah. Wish
What?
Louise happy
So
birthday.
you can't have
He's
cake
taking-
after you take a shower?
Yeah, but I mean, I have to wait for him to get out of the shower before we cut the cake now.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I want
it's
to
too
try
late
some
for
of his
cake.
I want
blue
blue
Takis, too.
Takis, yeah.
Anyway,
I would give it like an 8.
8 out of 10.
I mean, not quite an 8.5, but like maybe an 8.3. I don't know. It's getting ridiculous. But I liked it a lot. And like I said, Luis is straight up blind, y'all. He liked it more than that.
Word.
Andre?
I think I'm fluctuating between a 7.5 and an 8. I think this movie.
You can give it a 7.85.
7.75. I think this movie had a lot of good with it. I think it being a remake of one of the most popular animated movies of all time really works against it rather than for it, you know.
Agreed.
And the same with the live action Lion King. It's just that like you go into this movie with the expectation of seeing Aladdin, which you already know that you love, and then this changes things in such a way that it doesn't feel like it stacks up that first time you watch it, but trying to distance it from the animated Aladdin makes it a better movie in my mind. And I really like the stylized cinematography that the director Guy Ritchie is like known for. He likes to slow things down. He likes to speed things up and mix those two things together. And it's done very well for the most part. And I think that the color of this movie like really helps it shine. Especially because like some of the CGI, like Abu and Blue Genie, don't look super great, but the rest of it, the costumes, the sets, they all looks absolutely fantastic. So yeah,
it distracts from the distracting. Almost.
Exactly. So I think I'm gonna give this movie an 8 out of 10 as well. Yeah.
Very good.
Very good.
It's funny because Aladdin is kind of like one of your favorite princes or like whatever,
Sure.
like
One
animated
of my favorite
movies,
movies.
I've never heard you say it like that.
my
Aladdin's
favorite
one of your
princes.
favorite princes.
Aladdin or Eric or Charming or...
Okay, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I'm sorry, it was just funny.
You know what I mean. So I feel like you stayed pretty calm when this movie came out, but I think I'm either gonna have a really hard time when the live action Little Mermaid comes out, or I'm gonna
Look at me.
love it.
I am not gonna love it.
Right.
I am so not into it.
I don't know
I
how
could
I feel about it.
throw up. It's gonna be so
Yeah,
gross.
I think
I'm
it's
gonna
gonna
have
be
a
weird.
hard time.
I think it's gonna be weird.
Oh, you think you're gonna have a hard time?
Emily, you know I'm gonna have a hard time.
Okay, we're not gonna review it because all you're gonna do is the whole
bitch about
time.
it.
And
Yeah.
this wasn't the same, and this wasn't the same, and this was bad, and Ursula
He
looked
didn't
different.
say, "Daddy, I love him."
Daddy, I like him.
Yeah.
I passed him a note and said, "Do you like me too?"
Luis, are you excited for the live action Little Mermaid?
Heck no, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited for live action Little Mermaid, for a Little Mermaid coloring book, for Little Mermaid Legos.
What the heck?
I'm not excited
offended.
for anything Little Mermaid. No,
have
actually, I didn't even know we were gonna.
Addie loves mermaids.
We have Little Mermaid
Real
Duplos. Okay.
talk though, I didn't know they were gonna make it, and I'm very curious to see where it goes.
Oh, okay. There you
That's
go.
how we thought about Mulan.
What is it? What is it? How do you call her mermaid?
Mermaid Adventure Girl.
Mermaid Adventure Girl. She has like a mermaid, like a plushie.
Yeah,
I guess you call it like
yeah.
a plushie.
It's exactly
So
what
cute.
the Little Mermaid's gonna look like too.
Yeah.
Black.
Yeah, black.
Yeah.
So, the Little Mermaid. I mean, I have to imagine that it's
I'm gonna have a.
it's gonna be a similar thing to the rest of these, unless they do something drastically different, like tell the real Grimm Story Tales version of the story, or
That
whatever.
which would be awesome. That'd be super.
But like, I'm not into the fact that everything has to be CGI.
Yeah.
They're number one underwater. Mm-hmm. Number two, half of their body is not a real body.
right.
I know. So it's really gonna.
So
come
is
down.
their hair gonna constantly be moving?
Flowing. I mean, we watched Aquaman.
I don't-
Did you guys watch?
We did not.
Aquaman movie. And
It was fine.
A large portion of that movie takes place underwater.
Yeah,
and
but they have legs, babe.
they do have legs.
What Emily is saying is gonna be like it's true. It's gonna come down to the CGI and the movements of their bodies and stuff like that.
What I was going to say is that Aquaman had really good CGI, and it was a very colorful
Yeah.
movie as well. Yeah, there's other aspects of it that I didn't,
But, I mean-
love, but the underwater stuff was okay to look at.
Sure.
So I'm wondering if it'll match that or best it whenever this Mermaid movie comes out. I don't even know when.
We're getting way ahead of ourselves, guys. But
That's true.
They're starting to film it next year, so we got a couple years still. But it's been hyped up like crazy already. Is why I'm like so nervous for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Leave it to the Disney community to
hype
overanalyze
something
and
that hasn't even
overhype.
started filming yet.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Luis,
I'm just trying to say that the Disney community is not that inclusive. Okay, I would love to say it is.
No.
People
Luis
got
is brushing
shiesty.
his teeth, but because it is his birthday, he gets to pick his birthday movie.
Yes.
And
Nobody should have reminded him, okay? Because
And
he's
I-
out here always picking stupid
Oh,
movies.
he's brushing his teeth, so maybe I'll say we're doing a different movie. The movie that we're doing next week.
He just came around the corner to look and make sure we didn't lie.
is-
He has disappeared.
Oh,
Luis's choice for our next film is
Into the Woods.
It's the 2011 live action movie We Bought a Zoo,
Oh.
starring Matt Damon and Scarlett Johansson.
So every year, and if you're a new listener to the podcast, well,
We're sorry.
Let's fill you in. Every year on our birthdays, we pick a movie around our birthday that we want to watch, right? Because it's our birthday, whatever. We can pick one for the podcast. And we kind of always forget when it gets to Luis's birthday because we're like, oh, what's he going to pick?
Oh no, we don't forget. We dread
Yeah, I mean, Luis has
What
had
did
some
we have to watch last year?
interesting choices.
The Finest Hour.
Watched The Finest Hours.
Which
That
was
wasn't
the
for his
worst.
birthday, but it was a movie he chose. We watched
The Green-
Togo
Yeah, Togo.
with the Green
Toto.
Goblin, Willem Dafoe. We watched the Big Green, the soccer movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
What else is Luis
Which was-
picked? The
which
Good
was rough.
Dinosaur.
good dinosaur.
The Good Dinosaur. McFarlane USA.
Oh, McFarlane Land was fine. McFarlane
Nobody can hear you. You're not on
McFarlane
the
Land
mic.
was fine.
Right, but regardless of it being your birthday or not, these were all of
Our
your
movies
picks.
that Luis has chosen.
And I didn't hate watching any of them, but they're
it
definitely
was questionable.
well, maybe the Big Green, but
And The Finest Hour gave me so much anxiety.
Okay, listeners, I'm gonna vent right now. So last weekend we were all hanging out and we were playing Villains, which is the Disney game, and you guys should get it. It's really fun. And then Emily goes, I really want to watch a scary movie. And we were like, yeah, let's watch Aliens or something. But no. What did Luis convince us to watch? Predator. And what was a really lame movie? Predator.
No, it wasn't. You were asleep for half.
Yeah,
the
both
I
of
was
movie.
y'all
awake
was
enough
asleep.
to see that he had dreads.
okay, Predator was
Michelle and I
legit.
fell
It was pretty
asleep
sick.
laughing.
Yeah, we fell asleep.
That.
Nah,
Me and
it
Luis
was pretty sick.
were
And when I
enjoying
said
it.
scary movie, that's
That's
not what I
we
meant.
were thinking
I did not think
at all.
Alien. I did
and he
not
was like,
think
yeah, Predator. Oh,
We
let's
finally
watch
saw the scene
Predator.
where he's like, "Everybody, get to the chopper."
Get down, get to the chopper.
I'm so sad that I was asleep during that. You
I
should have
heard
woken
it.
me up just to rewind.
We
We
tried.
didn't know I was
You shut up, no, you didn't.
To be
I was
fair,
mad because you didn't see the dang dude for like the first 45 minutes of the movie. That's why I fell asleep.
You can turn
I said,
invisible,
this is boring.
dog.
They're shooting at trees. I can't see nothing.
That's
Hey,
true. I
to
do
be
remember
fair,
that part.
that scene came out out of nowhere because I was half expecting to be standing up, going ham on a gun. He was literally on the ground getting dragged, telling people to run the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
So yes, Luis has. The point is, Luis picked what? We got a zoo.
We bought a
we
zoo.
bought
We
a zoo.
got a zoo.
We
We bought
got
a
a zoo. And Emily doesn't like zoos.
Oh God, I don't like.
This movie came out in 2011, and it was a 20th Century Fox film that is now owned by Disney. It is
It's on the Plus.
It is on Disney
therefore,
Plus.
We're letting Luis
So
pick it.
we're gonna watch it and review
Better
it.
than the other one you wanted us to watch.
Which one?
Invincible.
The
What's
greatest
the other one?
game?
Yeah, he wanted us to watch another freaking sports.
Oh, the
movie.
golf
The greatest game ever played, starring Shia LaBeouf.
But it has Shia though.
LaBeouf.
LeBouf.
And then the other one was Invincible, starring Mark
Charlotte.
Wahlberg.
And he went with We Bought a Zoo.
We bought a zoo. We had enough money to purchase a zoo.
I don't care if
Got
ScarJo's in
Matt
it. I'm
Damon
not
in it,
excited.
though.
Matt Damon.
Oh, you know how I feel about Matt Damon.
Just don't understand.
It'll probably
why.
be an explicit episode, most likely.
I mean, maybe. I don't
No,
know.
it is not.
I'm
even
hoping-
It's a. Trust me, when
Am I
you
gonna
watch it,
cry? I don't want to watch
you're
it.
gonna cry.
I do.
I hate. Is there animal abuse?
No animal abuse.
This is
Okay,
a,
God.
then it's allowed. We'll watch it.
they're being nice to the animals.
Well, no, not all.
Really?
Come on, animals, get behind these cages. Come on.
Come on,
You know
loose
what we
animals.
watched last summer at this time or pre this time?
What?
Joe Exotic.
Oh, Tiger King.
I'm never gonna recover from this financially.
You guys, we have to end this
I'm
podcast.
never going to recover from these financially.
I feel like I need to binge that again and then watch We Bought a Zoo.
Oh my god.
That was
gonna
Be a cat energy.
It's gonna be exactly the same. Come on, Raja. Get all up in that cage.
I love Raja. Oh, she bit me.
All right.
It's my people right there, you guys.
You guys. Let's end this. Let us know what you thought of Aladdin. Hit us up in the comments below this post. We are on social media at the Walt Vault Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Oh my goodness.
You can,
iTunes us.
Yeah, subscribe
Sure.
on iTunes. Leave us a review. 5 stars is once again a pretty good amount of stars to rate us instead of 1. Go there, leave us a review, leave us a rating. Make sure you're subscribed on all podcast platforms. We're everywhere: iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube. We're all over the place. Leave comments. Let us know what you thought of the movie. Answer our warm-up question: which Disney park would you want to visit on a 5-day vacation? And
You're gonna have to rewrite that one for me. I don't think I can post that with remembrance.
We'll figure it out. And you can help support us by joining our Patreon. That's patreon.com/the Walt Vault. You can sign up for as little as $1 and you get some extra content. And if you sign up at the $5 level, we will send you a gift in the mail eventually, if Andre can get off his butt and get some work done. All right.
It's Emily's job now.
Okay.
I never said I was taking that over.
She's taking over.
Nope.
One Patreon
Luis's
at a
job
time.
now.
Yeah, don't give that to Luis.
And on that note,
Nice
listeners.
try.
Oh, we all laugh. We all laugh. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. We will see you next time for some zooey goodness. The vault is
Probably gonna be stinky.
now closed. Monkey poop.